I have nothing in my life that I enjoy. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think you have to be passionate about something. You don't have to feel like you have a purpose in life. You don't have to feel like you're working towards something or that you have goals. Um, and the fact that people expect you to have goals, or else you're sort of castigated as a loser and whatnot, is a little ridiculous. Um, I'm not a loser just because I recognize that my situation is not good. And rather than being optimistic and passionate, I should just be sort of stoic and work towards things which I think are best. Um, but there's this toxic culture where even just being stoic and working towards something is viewed as, for whatever reason, just unacceptable. My parents definitely have this syndrome where whenever I talk to them, whenever they message me, whenever they call me, whenever we see each other in person, they keep saying things like, "Oh, you're never happy. Why are you never happy?" They said this when I was growing up. When I was in high school, they would tell me, and although this was sort of a gaslight, they would tell me, the only thing we ever wanted was that you would be happy. And sometimes that's just an unreasonable request. I don't think you should tell your children that all you want is for them to be happy, or that all you want is for them to find their purpose in life. Because sometimes it's very difficult for people to maintain an atmosphere, or not an atmosphere, but an air of happiness and of optimism and of spiritedness. And obviously, those things are all good to have, and you should hope and work towards them. You should hope for them. You should eventually try to become more like that. But if you're not happy, if you're just doing your duty and you're sort of working towards your own goals, but you don't have an outwardly joyful demeanor, for whatever reason, you're just castigated and completely ostracized from society for no reason whatsoever. It's absolutely ridiculous. You'll see people who are just, living their lives. They're working their jobs, they're at school and whatnot, and people will really assume the worst possible things of them just because they're not happy and outwardly joyful at all times. Uh, Especially in the United States, we have this toxic culture of positivity where people are expected to be outwardly positive, extremely outgoing, very sociable at all times. And I just don't think it's reasonable to expect people to, put on airs of positivity at all times. It leads to sort of a feedback loop where the positivity, which is forced, becomes alienating and makes it even harder to force one's own positivity because you're so alienated from a society of people who seem to be almost positive in a sickly sense, as if they can't even abide these bad feelings. I don't know.